المعصية بالاستعاذة وافتحوا أبواب الطاعة بالتسمية. A very simple hadith. Close the doors of disobedience or lock the gates of disobedience by seeking refuge with God from shaitan. And open the doors of obedience to God by naming God or saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now, on one level, this hadith is telling us certain dhikr or words of remembrance to speak. Because isti'adha means to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And tasmiyah or basmala means to say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Any way that you name God is tasmiyah. And one of the ways that you name God, we say that before you eat, do tasmiyah. Meaning before you eat, name God. And the best way to do that is to say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before you begin to eat or before you drink, or in fact before you do anything in your life. So on one level, the Prophet is telling us words to say, and this should become a habit, meaning that we might do it without even always thinking about it consciously and deliberately. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You want to eat, you want to drink, you want to get in the car and drive somewhere, you want to begin studying, you want to read Quran, you want to perform ghusl, you want to perform wudu, you want to cook, even if you want to do something for your own entertainment, a craft or a hobby or a drawing or something, then if you're doing something that is permissible and something that is pleasing to God and you're doing it for the sake of God, even if it is to feed yourself, even if it is to give yourself some relaxation, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That's the first level, which is just a linguistic reminder. Then ulama have mentioned that don't confuse the words with the reality. So dhikr does not mean saying Bismillah, Subhanallah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. That's not dhikr. That is dhikr lisani, but it is just a way and a means to obtain dhikr qalbi, which is to have true remembrance in your heart. So the second level is to realize that the Prophet is telling us through words, which may become a habit, to obtain something that is in our reality which can never become a habit. Certain habits reinforce good behavior and good, true moral values. Let me give a few examples. Let's say that I have a habit of just speaking what's on my mind. You know, they say people have no filter. So sometimes you just process your thoughts by speaking them. That's a habit. You're not deliberately trying to hurt somebody. You're not deliberately trying to offend somebody. It's a habit. But this habit will facilitate negative character traits within you. It can make you impulsive. It can make you self-centered. It can make you somebody who is discourteous to others. So the character, which is your personality and even your intentions, is shaped by habits which sometimes are not deliberately performed or engaged in. They are a habit. That's a negative habit. What is a positive habit? Well, if you have the positive habit of always saying Bismillah at the beginning of your tasks, you might just say it by habit. But even if it is a habit, it is a reminder of God. And sometimes you're not thinking about God, but then you say it. And that reminds you of God. And so, if you say it with concentration, it will keep you away from all sin. If you say it as a habit, it might still keep you away from some sin, because it is the name of God. Let's say that I have a habit of saying Bismillah. And then shaitan tempts me, and I'm about to play a game of chance and gamble, which is haram. But because I have the habit of saying Bismillah, I say Bismillahir Rahmanir, and then I realize, wait a minute. So it's one more reminder if shaitan tempts us not to commit the sin. There's a greater chance that I will avoid the sin if I have that dhikr lisani. But the point is not the dhikr lisani, the point is the dhikr qalbi. So, isti'adha doesn't mean say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. It means feel in your heart that, oh God, I need your protection from shaitan. I'm not smart enough and strong enough and special enough that I can protect myself from sin. If I'm left to my own devices, my worship itself can become pleasing to shaitan. Like if I recite Quran and I become arrogant that my recitation is beautiful. Or I memorize a surah, and sometimes kids, you memorize surahs, and then maybe you feel like, I know more surahs than you do. So that is good or that is bad. It's good to memorize the surahs. It's good to compete in good things. But if it makes you feel better than somebody else, then that is also pleasing to shaitan because he wants you to become superficial. So if I'm left to my own devices, I can't protect myself from temptation. Shaitan has so many tricks. But if I am sincere and I ask God for his help, then he can protect me. That is isti'adha, the second level. Not to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, but to feel I need God's protection to avoid sin. Tasmiyah is not just to take the name of God as a habit, although that is a good habit and it can help us do good deeds, but true tasmiyah is to keep the name of God and the remembrance of God in every word we speak, in every decision we make, in every action we do, in every intention we make. That is tasmiyah. So level 1, say these things. They are a good habit. Number 2, mean it and intend it so it becomes part of your heart and not just part of your words. And the third part and the last part is that this is also a reminder that there are 2 stages to our spiritual development. What scholars of akhlaq, they call takhliya and tahliya. Takhliya from khali means to empty. Empty yourself of what is evil. And tahliya is to adorn, we say hulya or hilya, to adorn yourself with what is good. Mentioned it numerous times in the context of other ahadith. This hadith also, it gives that same reminder. First, you need to remove evil and sin. Then you can adorn yourself with what is good. Sometimes we don't clean ourselves, but we want to do extra credit and impress God. So maybe I have a special dua or a haja I have, and my fajr prayer is still not being done properly or on time. But I say, what is that special dua I can recite so I can get my prayer fulfilled? Well, you can put as much lipstick as you want on something that is inherently ugly, it's not going to become beautiful. You can put as much cologne as you want. College students have probably experienced this. But if you haven't done your laundry for months, then you need to do your laundry and you need to clean the clothes and sanitize them, and then you can put cologne. Otherwise, you're making a bigger mess and not solving anything. So, takhliya and tahliya, or in the expression of this beautiful hadith, close the doors of sin. You need to close those doors, and then you need to open the doors of obedience. There are 2 stages, and one takes precedence in terms of importance. Avoiding sin is more important because it's the foundation, but they happen at the same time. So you sanitize your soul, isti'adha. And then you adorn your soul, tasmiyah. Once again, the hadith of our Prophet is, أغلقوا أبواب المعصية بالاستعاذة وافتحوا أبواب الطاعة بالتسمية. Lock the gates of sin by seeking refuge in God. And open the gates of goodness or obedience by remembering God. May Allah grant all of us protection from sin and remembrance of His reward and His punishment, His justice and His mercy. And may Allah guide and keep all of us on the straight path. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For marhumin of your families and the families of our community, our sponsors,